We have a technical function, which is registering IP addresses and other resources for internet services at a fairly core level. We're membership-based, and we have members right across the whole region. We became partners in Pan-Asia grants program because we saw that it had the potential to really do some good practical ICT work in the region, and we have a couple of other very specific programs of our own.
We talk about digital divide, and ICT should narrow that. I think it's getting broader. So how do we address that? We really need to kind of have some planning and some kind of a policy to say that some of the base infrastructure have been developed. How do we push it to the villages for kind of if you talk about the number of illiterates, and if they couldn't really read, what would ICT be for? It would be quite useless. If they couldn't read, they could watch television, so you should develop systems that will help them, or in a sense, in an audio way, in their own dialect. So you bring information to them in the more intuitive way.
This being the second wave of ICT for in my personal opinion. The first wave consisted of trying to find out how new and emerging technologies which show great promise could be effectively harnessed for development. In this first phase, I think there was a lot of trial and error. There was some generalization to be made. And I think one of the key problems, which the second phase is now going to face, is even before we come to the question of sustainability can be economic, financial sustainability. That's something we often forget. A model is working great, a community radio station is working great, but what's the impact of it? So I think the critical challenge in the new wave of ICT for development is going to be how we manage to match in a much more intricate manner concrete development issues and different technological opportunities and features.
Is about creating connections and creating participation are two of the most fundamental and important things in humanity that we have to be able to do. The advent of telephony, but also mobile phone communication, the impact that's had in this part of the world is just absolutely incredible. And so being able to use that as a conduit to then be able to move information and knowledge and share that and disseminate those things, and also pull information back around key health issues are just dramatically important.
Who need it most, at what time, for what purpose? I'm speaking about this because Lawmakers has been advocating ICT for the urban poor disadvantaged, and we feel like we are in a lone voice in the eAsia in Kuala Lumpur that was just held. Trying to get even a single cent to do some rural urban poor project, we couldn't even get any funding. This is where I question, where is the policy outcome?
This Prime Minister program was meant to seek funding, to launch ideas, to launch innovative applications, and so on and so forth. To be very honest with you, we have no safeguard at all, and to reiterate what Pat said, it's 100% risk. The small grant is for just to test an idea, whether it's feasible or not, and the larger grant, it's not very large, is to see whether you can take it like one step further, do something concrete over 2 years, which then can be upscaled.
You're looking for transformation within your boundary and the people you have connections with, and either be beneficiaries or partners or stakeholders. What influence have you had on them for changes? I think is a better way to look at it.
There was a comment made that we should look at literacy. Since we are working more in rural space, we look at it differently. We feel that actually when we give internet in the villages, we don't feel that that fellow is going to use it for sending emails or browsing. If that is the use of that kiosk, then I have wasted my time and energy as a company. We feel that the internet which is available to him is something, an opportunity for him to learn something which gives him a livelihood for a lifetime. The money should go into villages rather than a money going out of the villages. We have a very interesting project on agarbatti where the people in villages are paid for making agarbattis, and they use this ICT as a means of keeping the information flow going.
I think one of the key things that we've witnessed in the ICT, the information revolution as a whole, is that it has challenged monopolies of knowledge.